Hello, stitchy friends. This is Shanda along the Continental Divide in Idaho, where it is fall in the Rocky Mountains. Rocky Mountains along the Idaho-Montana border, and it is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Beautiful day today. I've harvested all of the goods out of my garden and starting to definitely enjoy some of that bounty and harvest and the beautiful colors and rides into the mountains. And tonight I'm here to record this video and to get it out. I tried recording earlier in the week and the internet was not great to upload, and then I got frustrated and accidentally deleted that video. So tonight you are getting me here in the sitting room area of our bedroom. I think the breezes are kind of coming. I had the windows open just a little bit, and it is just wonderful, this evening video. I do have some information on my bags, and I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But first, what have I been stitching on? I've kind of picked up the knitting bug, but I won't digress. The first one that I have been working on is stored in my Christy Crosshats Quilts bag. She made me this several years ago, probably 5 or 6 now. And I am really wanting to get this one done this fall. Turkey Hollow Farm. A lot of you have seen it, stitched it. I'm just coming late to the party. I am stitching mine on, I want to say it is 36 count cream and sugar. I won't take the time. I'm just certain that's what it is. Yeah, 36 count cream and sugar by Fiber on a Whim. This is a delightful stitch. I'm trying to get, there it is. I'm trying to, here's my side and my pumpkins. I'm trying to get this house all outlined because I'm stitching it with called for colors, just so you know. But on November 5th and 6th, I get to go with my girlfriend down to, just can't wait, down to a quilt store called Village Dry Goods in Brigham City, Utah. And they have a website. You can get on their website and look. Each month they have a class that's just called the Cross Stitch Club, where you can go and stitch. So a stitching group. It's in the afternoon of one day. And then another random day, they have what they call Chit Chat Finish That. And it's mainly for quilters. You can take your machine and quilt, but you could probably take whatever you would like to work on. Well, in November, those 2 days happen to coincide. And I thought, it's about I'm thinking about a 5-hour drive from my home, but I'm going to stop and pick up my girlfriend Lynette, and we're going to drive down. And the cross stitch class afternoon is first. Spend the night, and the second day is Chit Chat Finish That. I hear the rain. It's starting to rain. So I wanted to get this all outlined so I could just sit during the cross stitch time and work on that big old ginormous beautiful cheddar house. So anyway, if there are any of you in the area that is your local, it's a quilt shop, Village Goods. Now I can't remember the name of it. Village Dry Goods. Village Dry Goods. If you would like to join us for that day, that would be great. I think they have like 15 or 20 spots in each class each day. But my girlfriend and I are already registered. I think it's $10 for one and $15 for the other. Very inexpensive. Show and tell. Bring a snack to share if you would like. But I am so looking forward to that. I don't get to many retreats, but that one, November 6th, 5th, and 6th, I'm so excited to get to go and participate. There's not any visiting designers or anything. It's just an open stitch, open sew time. But I am looking forward to that. So anyway, that's what I'm planning on taking with me, is my Turkey Hollow Farm, and I'm going to work on my big cheddar house. The quilting segment, I am going to be taking just a quilt that's in fall colors. I didn't bring it to show. I will show it after I get it, the top done. It's out in my studio, but it's just some orange and blacks, some fall colors, not necessarily Halloween, but I think I can take it into the fall, into November, and it's just half square triangles. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to arrange them in pinwheels on a white background or just all half square triangles. I'll go in the same direction. Not sure what I'm going to do there, but I've had that quilt in the little taupe for probably 3 or 4 years, and it's time to get it done. So the next whip that this is a new start. I made this bag, and I want to say I can't remember the line it was from. I usually put this thing in the bottom, and this one I did not, so I apologize. But I had, weekend before last, I had a lot of TV time because we listened to our church conference, and I started coming to my garden. Beautiful sampler. Beautiful, beautiful. Coming to my garden, Blackbird Designs. And this, I'm stitching it with all the called for colors. I am stitching it on, let me tell you what this is before I show it to you. Picture This Plus Heartland Edinburgh Linen, 32 count. And this is how far I got on it. Got a huge piece of linen here. And I got a lot of it done. Mainly I think I worked on this one day, and then the second day of TV time, I worked on something else, but no, I can't remember what it was. It was not cross-stitch related. I think that's when I cast on my granddaughter's slippers, muckluck slippers. But anyway, coming to my garden, Blackbird Designs. Hope you can see that. I tried to iron these today, but it doesn't look like it kind of... it's just the colors are just very quintessential. Blackbird. Let me hold those up here. Just gorgeous on this linen. Yoo-hoo. Oh, just gorgeous. Come into my garden. Blackbird Designs. This was a start, like I said, the first weekend in October. Lots of TV time, so I started something new. And then on Halloween, my new start, last new start of the year. I also have been working on Seek Goodness with Christy from Daisy K's Primitives, and we're stitching that together. Mine is all the way done except for like 50 stitches, but I didn't want to show you that one. It's a drum from Stacy Nash. Seek Goodness. It's a drum from Stacy Nash that I had started like June of 24 last year. But that one I wanted to show when it was fully finished, because it is a small drum. So I have been busy, and I'll show you here in a minute what else I have been busy on. But on Halloween, I digress. It's that time of year when, less sunlight, less brain imaging. I don't know. Halloween, we get zip for trick-or-treaters. We're so far out here that we don't get many trick-or-treaters, if at all. So I'm planning on watching a really good movie, and I'm thinking about making a homemade chicken pot pie. And this one is a classic, but I have had it kitted up for 4 years, so it's time I started. Houses of Berries, Chapel Road, Miss Baxter's house. And that's me out feeding my chickens. I got my chickens in June. They were born June 4th, and we haven't had any eggs yet, but I've had chickens before in the past, and then kind of got tired of them. And then now that I'm kind of in a little bit more settled place, it was time for chickens again. So that's me out there feeding the chickens. I've loved this one. I will be starting this, like I said, Halloween. Not the eve of Halloween, but Halloween Eve. The night of Halloween. 36 count linen salt bush from Fox and Rabbit. With all the called for colors. I think I have those in here. Yes, on my little time to stitch. Can you see that? That studio light is a little bit overpowering on this fabric. Oh. Fun. I hope it's raining that night too, so I could just put my feet up and watch a good movie. I don't know what yet. I'm not a spooky movie person. But a good, you know, a little bit of a scare. I don't know. I might even put in what my family calls a bonnet movie. Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Emma, the 5-hour version of Emma, and the 4-hour version of Sense and Sensibility. I think they're both BBC productions. I don't know what we'll watch yet. Okay, and then I did get one back from the framer. I'm kind of going out of order here, but hopefully the cross-stitch police are not looking. This is out of the Christmas Winter 2015 Punch Needle and Primitive Crafts. It's just called the Christmas Bird, and I had it framed in a very simple black frame from Hobby Lobby, no glass. I figured for the amount of time it's going to be out during the year, I did not want to spend a lot of money on framing. But I'm very happy with the outcome, although there are, I started this mania of 2020, COVID, the pandemic, and I couldn't get a lot of good flosses and or threads or fabric. So I started this on, it is 36 count, but it's very open weave. So some of the threads I can see, you know, I tried to iron them down before I took it in because they don't iron or anything. But anyway, I am happy. I'm happy with it. It is what it is. I love this. I love it, love it, love it. Christmas Bird 2015 winter Christmas issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching. Finally got it. I finished it a year or two ago and I finally took it in to get framed. It is what it is, right? Okay. I maybe had two little things of quilting here, but I have a few things I still want to show, and some of this right over here. Let's do this next. My one acquisition, Stacy Nash Designs, As the Crow Flies Pin Keep. I'm not purchasing a lot, and I will talk a little bit about that in a minute, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My one acquisition. I did get my fall package from my girlfriend Nicole, and I think last FlossTube I mentioned I was going to get to see her at her son's wedding, and I did get to see her. She is such a tender, kindred spirit to me. The girlfriend that I'm going to Village Dry Goods with in November, I've known her since kindergarten. She was my maid of honor. I've known her a long, long time. My girlfriend Nicole, we exchange fall packages and Christmas packages and birthday packages every year. She truly is a kindred spirit. I call Annette my anchor, and I have Peapod sisters out there. I have a lot of good people around me, a lot of good friends. But Nicole is, she is a kindred spirit queen. Anyway, she sent me this in her fall package, and it looks like a project bag from the Fat Quarter Shop down here. I'm not quite sure if this was something maybe that just came with a kid or something in it. I'm not sure, but she sent it on to me to use for a project bag. And inside was this delightful tray display designs from Annabella's Autumn Tray Display. You can either probably stitch them all together or stitch them individually. Oh man, the box is stinking cute, and that house, all of them. The sweater right here. I am a huge sweater weather girl. Fall is my favorite season. The backpack, the acorns, the hot chocolate, all of it. Ooh. Anyway, thank you, Nicole. I got a lot more from her, but some of it is kind of personal. So I didn't want to share the personal stuff. I'm going to move on to, you can tell on my surroundings. I've kind of started moving out of Southwest Idaho because this is where we're going to be retiring. And I wanted to bring my cross-stitch pieces up here into the mountain house with me. And while I had them down, there's maybe 6 or 8 of them here real quick. I wanted to share their previous finishes, previous stitches. But I dusted them off and I'm getting ready to decide where to put them here. And I wanted to show them to you really quick. I have no idea of some of them don't have the label on the back that I created as far as the fabric or anything. I just remember the names and most of the designers. Mary Bell, starting us off, Mary Bell, Lori Rippey, Country Rustic Prims, I want to say. This one I did a couple years ago, and this is my very favorite frame from Hobby Lobby, the molding. But it's a little on the high end, so not every piece of mine gets this molding, this choice. But boy, I've said this before, Lori can really design. She hits it out of the ballpark. She really does. It's just beautiful. Let's see where I'm going to store these. Second one, Cherry Hollow Farm, Stacy Nash. This was it was a unicorn chart for me, and Christy from Crosshatch Quilts kindly sent me that chart. And I do have it. I have her notes here on the back taped. And I also have Cherry Hollow Farm by Stacy Nash. I stitched this spanning 20 and 21, 25 count even weave with called for over-dyed floss. The even weave I then sprayed and distressed with Distress It spray from Primitive Gatherings. Another one of my favorites. Anything with a red house, right? Oh, just stunning. Let me read it to you first, the back. January 2023, 32 count Abecedarian out of the 2022 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. And it didn't have a name. It was by Blackbird Designs, and it didn't have a name. And I nicknamed it Pepperoni Dip because that was the recipe that was on the same page that Blackbird Designs, I think it was Alma, had submitted. It just said Pepperoni Dip. It said Pepperoni Dip. So I nicknamed this Pepperoni Dip. It's really small. It's 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Really, really small, but I loved it. Ah, Baby It's Cold Outside, Heartstring Samplery. And this one is done on my favorite, really, really rusticy open weave fabric. Is 18 count natural raw linen with overdyed called for flosses, finished January of 2020 in honor of Leanne. And yes, I wanted to put an apostrophe there at the very end. I forgot. Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread, Liberty House. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is called. Just love it. Look at that flag waving in the wind. So pretty. A couple more. This was not stitched by me. This was stitched by my friend Cree. She stitched it for our home down in Emmett, Idaho. And we lived out among the orchards, and she called it Orchard Hill because that's what I told her we were going to name our place down there. And I just thought it was fun to show it. Thank you, Cree. She's an amazing stitcher. In fact, every second Saturday here in my little tiny community, she also lives, and there's a group of three of us who cross-stitch, and we meet at the library now and we stitch. But this was a gift from Cree, and it was down in my home down there, and I decided to bring it up here. We will be retiring here. Oh, sorry, I just bumped the camera. We will be retiring here, and we're going to keep that house down there, but we will turn it into a rental. Oh, home is where the heart is. Oh, what is that? Home is where the heart is. I stitched this in 2022. This was not stitched off of the new release. I've had this chart since it first came out in like 2004 or 3, and I finally finished it. I don't know what was wrong with me. Where My Heart Blooms, Blackbird Designs, started 5 of 2020, finished 12 of 22. 36 Count Weathered Shingle by R&R, and called for overdyed threads. And I put, this remains my most favorite design from Blackbird Designs. Oh, just love, love, love it. Yes, we are in the house with the quilt wall that normally is behind me. That's out in my studio. That's a separate detached she shed. Fireplace, heating, the whole bit. But it was raining and I just wanted to film in here tonight. So, okay. This one is from JBW. It's like 4 or 5 red samplers on the front of it. And I do not know the pamphlet. But I put on here, and this is not framed very good. In the move, it kind of got jostled. But I put Thankful Hosington 1781 because that is an ancestor of mine. I loved that name, Thankful Hosington. So this one was stitched in her honor, but it was the chart is, I know it's from JBW Designs, and there's 4 redware charts on the front, red work charts. I want to say redware, but red work charts on the front of it. And this is from that pamphlet. 2 more. This one, I'm not really happy with the way it was framed. This was my fault. I may stitch this again. Again, I started this in May of 2020 for Mania. That year, I started 31, 1 a day for Stitch Mania, and I never did it again. I just started when I wanted, but that year taught me a lot. It was the pandemic. We were all in lockdown. And this one has its little quirks, but I just decided I'm going to keep it just like it is because of, I don't know, the Amish have a humble block. This can be my humble stitch. See how this runs not right here? This piece that I stitched this on was not square. It was a lesser quality stitching fabric. And let me see if I can get it at least straight. I don't know, but this runs totally wrong only because I stitched really close to the edge. But it is what it is. I'm going to leave it like it is. And this NMF down here stands for Neva May Frederick. She was a grandmother of mine, and she was born in 1923. So I stitched this in her honor because it looked like all the Pyrex stitches that she used to have in her kitchen. These bright, bright teal Pyrex, some reds, some blues. This just reeked of Grandma Neva. So this is her sampler. And yeah, this was a frame I got from the Rusty Roof off of the internet, off of Etsy. And I did frame this myself only because this was not a square. It must have been an irregular piece, and I was not aware of that until it was really well underway, and I was not This too chart I had way before it was reprinted, and I was just lucky I got both of those when I did, way back when. This one and Where My Heart Blooms. Classic. Okay, and then the last one I did not stitch either, but it is one of my most prized possessions. My daughter stitched it for me, which reminds me, the beginning of the year when I kind of went into MIA action, I was working on Heaven and Nature Sing, and I got that done, and I took it to my daughter who lives up in Alaska. I got to go to Alaska in February for my big year birthday, and I gave it to her, and I took a picture of that with her, broad daylight, which there's not much of in February in Alaska, out on the Kenai Peninsula. But I'm going to put that at the end of this video. So if you wonder who this girl is, this beautiful young woman, she is just an amazing girl. In fact, right now she is starting the third surrogacy for a couple that live in San Jose, California. She has done surrogacy work before, twice before, delivered full-term healthy babies. And this is her third surrogacy that she's entering. So I'm very proud of her for choosing that occupation for herself, for her well-being. I think it is, I'm pretty sure it's a girl, and we will find out tomorrow if it will be twins or not. So, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, she stitched this for me, Seeking Refuge from the Scarlet House, way back, probably a good 3 years ago. It's just stunning. She said this grass down here was no joke, but because it's full coverage, but Sarah did really good to keep this going, because she knew I was pretty stressed out with all the responsibilities I had back then, and she said, it just sounds like you, Mom. So anyway, there's that. I'm going to clean up just a little bit, and I'll be right back with the last of my quilting segment and tiny bit of knitting. Okay, like I said, I've kind of had a little bit of a resurgence of my knitting. I am not a knitter at all. In fact, I knit just kind of the bare necessities. But the only reason why I wanted to knit was to knit socks. And I've tried a couple times and failed miserably. Now, I am left-handed. So to find somebody to teach me that was left, well, thank heavens, YouTube came along. Because here this fall, I have really, really gotten the urge to try and knit a pair of socks again. And I have some cast on, but I cast them on with a little bit lesser quality of yarn just to make my first pair, and then I'll try it with one of these that I just got in the mail. But I first wanted to show you, this is, I do not have the picture chart. But anyway, this is just going to be a cowl. It's a 2x2 rib, and then I'll knit for about 9 or 10 inches, and then another 2x2 rib. But Boise State colors, so that's why I cast this one on. I'm doing this one on circulars, but the reason why I did this is because I wanted to practice the rib and the stretchy that will go on the top of my socks. So, and I did make this knitted project bag. It is delightful, almost canvas fabric. And I got this probably 3 years ago, spent way too much money, and ordered this from, her name was Katie Greenbean from FlossTube. She lives over in the UK along there's a national park, Dartmoor, and she draws. But look at these sheep. She designed her own fabric, and I just had to have these sheep. I grew up on a sheep ranch, and I just really loved this fabric. And I ordered a yard of it, and the fabric wasn't so bad. It was the shipping to get it here. So, her talent. Again, it's Katie or Green Bean, Katie Green Bean. And she used to have YouTube videos. I don't know if she has them anymore. This fabric was a total indulge for the time. Anyway, off of Etsy, I kind of went shopping and blew it. Here's 3, and I got 5 from a different, this hand-dyed dyer off of Etsy. Willow Cottage Yarns off of Etsy. This one is called This Is Halloween. Now, another reason why I liked this is my high school colors, black and orange. But I thought that'd make a fun pair of socks. This one is called Birch Bark and Like a Birch Tree. Again, that's Willow Cottage. Yeah, Willow Cottage Yarns. But some of the names, this next one I bought solely for the name. Oh, I'm so bad. This one is called Lydia Bennett. And being the Jane Austen guru, buff, lover, fan, I had to have this one. Lydia Bennett. Each hank, for those of you who are not knitters, each hank represents 1 pair of socks. So I'm going to practice with the 1 pair that I have cast on. And I literally have like this much, so nothing to show. But that yarn was a little bit lesser quality, and I wanted to make my first pair of socks with that yarn. It's a variegated shades of blue. But these are the 3 I got from this Willow Cottage Yarns. Very speedy delivery. Lydia Bennett, Birch Bark, and This Is Halloween. And then the next ones, I haven't even taken out of the package yet because Falling Leaf Fibers. Homestead. Autumn in the Highlands. This one is called Wrapped in Plaid. And if you go on the Etsy site and look these up under the Falling Leaf Fibers site, one of them is discontinued now, the very end one, but the rest of them are gorgeous. And it even shows you a swatch when it's knitted as to what your socks will look like. So again, Homestead, Autumn in the Highlands, Wrapped in Plaid, November Rain, and this is the one this is the one that I think is discontinued. It's no longer on her website. And the last one is Enchanted Cottage. But look at those colors. Sorry, there's a lot of crinkling. This is how it came. And all I have to do is just open it, but I don't want to. I just don't want to. Just gorgeous. So I have a lot of knitting in my future, but that urge only comes like September, October, November, and then I'm over it. So I'll probably finish this first pair of socks, maybe cast on a spring color and do that. But I can't decide if I'm a quilter, cross stitches, or a cross stitcher who quilts, but I'm definitely not a knitter by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, and then the quilting. This behind me here is from, I did this a couple years ago. Primrose Cottage is the designer. It's just a small, like a table topper. This one, cross stitch back here, I just realized. Can't even remember, but I stitched that with Christy from Daisy Case Primitives. I can't remember the name of this pattern, but I do know it's Primrose Cottage. It came as a kit. But the only 2 quilting objects I have this time, besides the bags that I'm going to be talking about here in a minute, is, I believe it was Olivia B. that showed this quilt. This is from the book, The Big Book of Civil War Quilts. And I've kind of been looking and thinking about a Project 250 America quilt that I want to do for myself for next year for the semi-quincentennial. And I think I found it. I'd cut this one out, and it was in reds and blues already that I had chosen to cut it out in, but I think this is what I'm going to do. Homeward Bound. Let me show that so it doesn't give you the directions. Homeward Bound. I don't know if Olivia B has hers done yet or not, but it's just a gorgeous quilt. This whole book is just stunning with scrappy yet stars over Midford. I bet there's, it says 58 patterns for reproduction fabric lovers on the front. And this one I do know I got from Joann's when it was in business several years ago. But I'm pretty sure it's still in print. And then the last one I wanted to show you was right here. Men at Work. What a great way to use up your scraps. Oh, I love the 2-color quilts. They're just some of my favorites. Anyway, that's one of the item of quilting. The second of 3 quiltings that I want to talk about. In November, I've got a very busy November, but I am going to Illinois for Thanksgiving. I have a sweet, dear aunt who has a terminal illness, and I get to go spend some time with her. It's my mother's sister, and several years ago, she made me this. And it's just a box. I shouldn't say just. It's a beautiful box, but she pieced this for me. And she's become a beautiful quilter in her own time. And an amazing, amazing woman. And I wanted to show this. It's nothing I quilted or did, but it's just a beautiful piece of artwork that I get to have and cherish from her. It's just beautiful. Little tiny tumblers. Just fun. There's nothing on the box. I think she got this sourced locally in Illinois from a man who makes woodworking items. What a lucky woman I am to have this from her. Okay, the last couple of things. My project bags. I got this all quilted. You can't really... There, it's on the back. This is quilted with something called a pantograph called Fantasia. It's one of my favorites. It's pretty densely quilted. And this is what is gonna, I guess you can kind of see it. Not really. This fabric, again, really quickly, was from Jeannie Horton, Country Sampler, Worn and Loved 2. And I have 5 yards of this. So I calculated out I will have 25 project bags to sell. I don't know how much they're going to be yet. Somewhere between $33 to $35, $36, an average price. I'm not gonna, you know, go out on a limb here. But they will be this on the front, this on the back, and then I even have matching from the same line that will be the lining. The reason why I don't have one to show you is because I got some labels made up with Shanda Stitching in Idaho on them, and I'll have that to show for you next time. But I just wanted to briefly have you put this on the calendar. On November 1st at 11 a.m., 11 at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Next video, I'll come out one more time with a small little video before, right around the weekend of Halloween, with information on this. On November 1st at 11 a.m., 11/1 at 11. The only way I know that I'm able to do this, because it will all be a PayPal, is send me an email and I will go off the timestamps on the emails, and the first 25 that send me an email that wants a bag, then I will send the bag. I will send them an invoice, they will pay it, and I will send the bag out. I do have everything cut except this. I have the labels cut. I have the lining cut. I've already ordered and received zippers off of Etsy. Everything is ready to go. So I will have all 25 of them made and they will be ready to go out. But like I said, on November 1st at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, I will open it up for people to be purchasing a bag. I'm not sure how this works. I've never really done this before. So, but I do know PayPal. And I think this is the easiest, most fairest way to do this. Personally, I think there's going to be plenty for everybody who wants a bag. 25 bags is a lot of bags. But then I've had other friends that said, Shanda, are you kidding me? There won't be enough. And I'm like, it's just a project bag, right? But anyway, I just love this fabric. It's large tumblers. It's quilted with a pantograph by me. And my machine is not computer aided. I drive my machine. It's a Gamel. It's a long arm Gamel. And I quilted this by hand. So the project bags will be quilted by me, sewn by me, shipped out by me. And it'll have my little tag on it. But I will have one to show you as a sample next time when we chit chat. Anyway, in closing, I got my notes here. I wanted to talk a little bit about our individuality. And I've recently heard the buzz term going around the internet of creating our own personal curriculum. And for me right now, that looks like I want to make my socks. I want to learn how to knit my socks. My sourdough. I want to improve on my sourdough. I have already started to learn to fly fish. And I want to learn how to braid garlic. Those are my 4 personal items of curriculum. Now, I challenge each one of you to decide on something that you want to improve on and create and design what your own personal curriculum looks like. It could be, as in Emma, the movie Emma, she had comprised a list of 100 titles that she wanted to read. It could be learning how to paint. Just pick something that you've always wanted to learn to do and learn a little bit about it. Designing your own personal curriculum. Now, with that said, I've also heard it say that comparison is the thief of joy. I do not want you to compare yourself against anybody else. This is your own personal quest. It is your own personal education plan. It is your own personal thing that you want to learn how to do. Just like when we were growing up and we go off to college, or maybe we didn't. But even in high school, we got to pick our own electives. We got to pick our own schedules. For the most part, hoping that you will pick 1 or 2 things that you really, really would like to do. For me, that shows up as sock knitting, how to braid garlic, fly fishing, improving my sourdough. My sourdough kind of got pushed to the side even in the summer when I went to Alaska for 3.5 weeks. And now I'm trying to revive it again. But I might even only pick 2 of those. But this is the perfect time of year to try and learn something new. Settle down with a good book. Listen to the rain outside, or the snow, the leaves fall, whatever's happening in your neighborhood. I do know that a lot of us, myself included, we are going through some really mean, heartache, family unfriendly times right now. We can only do what we can do. The heartache that's out there is real. But at the same time, I do believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And we have to find it within our own self to be happy and to be joyful. Do not compare yourself with others. Comparison is the thief of joy. I am, for the most part in my life, content. I am content. I'm kind of in a stage of transition right now between 2 homes. My husband is working in a separate location than what I'm living in, but we both go back and forth. We're close enough to where on the weekends we go back and forth a lot and spend time together and decide what the next steps are for us. But comparison is the thief of joy. My hard might not look like your hard. Your hard might not be my hard. It might be harder. Take it easy on yourself. Stitch, quilt, paint, sourdough, fly fishing, sock knitting, whatever it is you want to do, I challenge you to even pick up a book at your local library about that subject and read it. You will be a better person for it. Until the weekend of Halloween, actually be the weekend just a few days before Halloween, because November 1st is on a Saturday, and I might put a video out so that it posts Halloween Day sometime so that you don't forget. But mark your calendars, November 1st at 11 a.m. Mountain Time here in the United States. And this is, sorry to say, good reminder, only good for people in the United States, because these bags would be so expensive to ship other places of the country. That might change in the future. I don't know. But I do appreciate everybody who watches and listens and responds and leaves me comments. You have no idea of the source of your goodness and your kindness in the world. I have friends that I correspond with in New Zealand. Hi, Claire. I have people that I've met last summer in Canada, probably about 6 or 8 ladies in a quilt store that was sitting around quilting. And they have such a short summer that they quilt in the store during June and July, and that's it. Then they start settling down for the winter. People all across this great big world, please, please take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, and remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Go out and learn something new in your personal quest for some personal curriculum in your education. I will see you in about 2 weeks. Bye.